Hey Emma, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. Thank you so much for having me, Niam. It's a pleasure to be here.
I'm super happy that you're here. I've been seeing your website, all of stuff, very exciting product. But first, before we dive into Jefa, sorry, I want to ask about yourself. Like, what did you do before, so people will get some context about you?
Yeah, awesome. So I have been working, my name is Emma. I've been working in finance in emerging markets for the last 8 or so years. I actually started my career at Bridgewater Associates, which is the world's largest hedge fund, and then became more interested in financial health and wellness, which took me to West Africa, where I started a microcredit organization, briefly worked with the United Nations, did my master's at the London School of Economics, and then most recently went back to Africa, this time in the East, to build a neobank for underserved populations there. And that's what I have been up to the last 2 or so years before Jefa.
Wow, wow. I have so many questions about the products, and a lot of people here are excited. First, is it public yet? People can join, can register?
It should be by the time this is coming out at the live event. So check us out on the App Store and the Android store.
Wow. And where are you physically located?
Yeah, so the team, we were born during the quarantine. The company came about in May. So the team is currently distributed all over the world, everywhere from New Zealand to California to Honduras to Uruguay. So we have people from everywhere. I'm currently in Spain.
Because this is why I asked, because I was looking at your team. I do my homework, and I've seen people from all over the world. I think on your LinkedIn, I saw you're in France, I think, if I remember. But maybe I'm wrong.
Yes, I was most recently in France. My
Wow.
husband is Spanish, so we came here for the quarantine.
Wow, wow, wow. So this is a new neobank that was born in quarantine time. Or basically, you're building a bank from home. How is it? How does it feel?
Yeah, it's a strange feeling. And we've had to work really hard to get in touch with our customers because we can't see them day to day. And so much of building a product is, those on the ground conversations you have with your customers. So we do Zoom interviews every week with our customers, trying to get to know them. And I'm personally loving working from home. I find that we all have our own rhythms and work routines, and being at home allows us to fall into sync with those. So I was just coming back from surfing when I jumped on this call with you, and you can tell my hair is still soaking wet. So it's a really great conductive environment to actually be able to work more creatively and more imaginatively. Although I do feel for parents at home with little ones. I know that's a whole different time to be building. So thankfully, that's not us yet.
It's unbelievable. I've interviewed here on the summit so many bank CEOs, neobanks, but you're really building this team from home, and all of you are connected from so many places and so many different backgrounds. And I want to first ask about, of course, the bank. You call it the digital bank for the women. Like, why do we need a bank like that? What is the story behind it? Get us into the story here.
Absolutely. It's a great question. So, around the world, there's 1.5 billion people without a bank account, which seems crazy, doesn't it, for those of us who live in places like Israel or in Europe or in the US? And more recently, I took a deep dive into that 1.5 billion to see who they were. And by and large, they're women. About 1.4 out of that 1.5 billion people are women. So, what that tells us is that financial services, as they're currently built, are not serving women customers, which also makes a lot of sense. I mean, when banks came about, historically, women couldn't even legally open a bank account. In my home country in the US, it was only the last 40, 50 years that we could even go to the bank to open an account. So because of that, I think it's time that we strip down these antiquated behemoths and rebuild them in a way that's more friendly and intuitive for the female customer. And what we really do see is that women do have different financial behavior than men, and we're still exploring exactly what that behavior is, because banks and now neobanks are mostly adopted by men, and we don't have gender disaggregate data. We can assume that most data we have about people's financial lives is actually data about a man's financial life. So a lot of what we're doing is trying to explore that nuance of what women customers really actually are wanting. There's some things that pop up, like women save for goal-oriented purposes, where men save for general purposes, and small nuance like that. But we still have a lot to learn about the female customer when it comes to banking.
And how do you build that into a community when you can listen to the users and build it up together with them?
Yeah, absolutely. So at the time of this recording, and the number will probably change in a couple months when this talk comes out, we have about 70,000 women on our wait list, and about 50% of them are referring their friends. And
Wow.
as you said, community is a huge part of this. And the reason we decided to build a wait list before building the product is because we thought the way fintechs are often built seems almost the wrong way around. The fact that we build a product and then get customers, we thought, let's build this with a community and really get to know what their needs are so that by the time we launch the product, they think, this is exactly what we want. So that's what we're in the process of doing. And it's so exciting. Across our social media channels, we have about 20,000 followers who actively engage with us every day. It's really cool to have them involved in this process with us.
So it's more than a bank. It sounds like a movement that you're growing there.
That's the dream. So the word Jefa in Spanish means female boss, and this is what we're trying to elevate: is the fact that women are powerful, and we want to empower them to live their best lives, and that starts with living their best financial lives. So my grandma used to tell me that a woman who controls her finances controls her life, and I do believe that is true. So that's a huge part of what we're doing and trying to lift up our customers. And it's taking off. I think the one thing we see with women is that personal finance for them isn't personal. It's very much something that's done in community, and this happens around the world, but especially in emerging markets. So we're trying to harness that power that women already have and explore it even further for this project.
What are the coming markets, or what is the roadmap for the first market to launch, of course, and later on?
Yeah, definitely. So our first two markets will be Mexico and the US. The reason for that is because there's this interesting dynamic, especially in Mexico, where most women don't have a bank account, but they are earning money and they do participate in the labor force. So they represent a really cool customer for us because they're looking for a solution like ours. It's also a market where most of our organic growth has been coming from. And then the US is also really exciting because every 1 in 6 women in the US is actually a Latina woman. And these women women globally control about 80% of household spending. So these are really exciting customers. The market opportunity is about $1 trillion in purchasing power each year. So in the US. So both of these markets are really dynamic and exciting for us.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people here on the summit would love to, of course, network with you, offer you services, collaborate with you, whether if it's rewards for serving, the bank customers. There's so much opportunity over there, and your design, I think, is really unique. Like when I saw the website, I really look. What was the approach that you took in the design? It's really outstanding, from at least from what I'm seeing, and I haven't seen the app yet, so.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I'll be thrilled to network with everyone at the event. We're looking for partners in every area, from from KYC to insurance to bill payments. So would love to speak with everyone. And on the design, thank you so much. Our head of design, Chris, is absolutely incredible. He's best in class in what he does, and I couldn't be more impressed with his work. And so much of what he's created has been from his own imagination. And what we're doing, since we are building with our female customers and we're doing interviews with them, we're really specifically asking what they want and then trying to build that into the product. And we really believe that design matters. And actually, that's why Chris was our very first hire, actually. Because our thinking is that, when you look at a financial product today, you no longer read through the terms and conditions to decide if this is going to work for you. You decide based on how it looks, if that's a product you're going to use. And because of that, we want to upfront create this trustworthy, simple, intuitive, fun, exciting brand for our customers to engage with. And a huge part of that is like our aesthetic and how we look. So we're using a lot of behavioral psychology, behavioral insights, and nudge theory to build the product in a way that it's super, super simplified, not because women need simple, but because women like simple. I think we all do. And we're trying to build in that sense of doing everything in a very intuitive way so the product feels natural for our customers.
Amazing. I like it, and I ask. It's also a compliment from me. Because I'm testing all these neobanks, and as much as I can, as much as accounts that I can open, and study all these, features and usability and how does it look. So that was a compliment to you. Yes. Tell me, did you get some sort of investment? Like, how did you start like this bank?
Yeah, definitely. We've started with a pre-seed round that we have 3 different investors on. We have Magma Partners, who is an amazing VC in LATAM. They know this market inside and out. We also have On Deck, who you may know as like the YC equivalent for pre-seed stage companies in Silicon Valley. And then we also have Brian McCorth, who was recently named Brazil's top entrepreneur. So these, these 3 investors early on were really crucial for us because of their networks and of course their ability to kind of help us build in this market. We're really lucky to have Claire Diaz-Ortiz, who led the investment for Magma, who was one of the earliest employees at Twitter and literally wrote a book on social media marketing. So she's been really integral for us, helping us, build this strategy. I think it's always great to have investors in your corner like these guys who can really be a part of the team and the journey from day one.
Wow. And you're still looking for more, or for now, this is a...
Yeah, so we're raising our seed round. We're closing the first tranche of that probably quite soon, but by the time this conference has come around, we'll be raising the second tranche of our seed round, which will be about 1.5 to 2 million.
Wow.
So come talk.
Yeah. I mean, we have investors here. That's why I ask. I mean, I know you'll be reached by a lot of people. Because the markets are super hot. The one that you mentioned, of course. I think there's a lot of opportunity. I'm seeing other, women bank CEOs and founders also in this summit. Also the one from Nubank, right, in Brazil.
Of course, Cristina Junqueira. She's a legend. She's
what
we all
ask, what do
aspire
you
to.
think? What do you think about her?
Yeah, I couldn't admire her more. And I think the reason why actually in LATAM, in the whole Latin America region, there's about 5 to 7 times more female founders than anywhere else in the world, which is super interesting. And one of my hypotheses of why we're seeing this here is because of people like Christina, who have set this sort of role model effect. So other women in the region think, hey, I could be that too, and can aspire to her. I don't know if those of you watching have seen her Forbes cover of her pregnant, and she has just done such a great job of normalizing that every part of a woman's journey from having a child to starting a business is worth celebrating. And seeing that cover with her on Forbes almost brought me to tears when I first saw it, because it was such an illustration of women in roles of power where they should be. Jefas.
Amazing. Of course, also Starling Bank that got a lot of compliment during this summit. Like, it was mentioned by so many experts here that one of the leading banks right now, and they're making the right decisions over there. So congrats to her, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, Anne is another one of those luminaries we can all look to.
Yeah. All right. So I'm excited. Of course, we invite everybody. How can people follow you and learn more about the product, of course, and get connected to you?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first thing is check out our website and join our waitlist to learn when the product comes to a market near you. My email is emma@jefa, jefa.io, and I'd love to hear from you directly, or else connect on LinkedIn. Follow us on Instagram, jefa.io on Instagram, and please get in touch, whether you're interested in becoming our CTO, which we're looking for, or investing, or partnering with us. We could use all the network that we can get all over the world. I think the cool thing about Jefa is that there are women everywhere. It's 50% of the world's population. So this opportunity for us is huge, and we don't take that lightly, and want to, from day one, start to be thinking about staying focused on our markets locally, but also have a very global vision for where we can go.
I know already some who would love to connect with you, and I'll do my best to connect between you and other women founders and CEOs of other neobanks. Thank you very much. I'm excited, and by the way, the minute I reached to you, immediately you said yes. So that says a lot about you. Without even waiting, just saying, yeah, let's do it. So I love this approach, and I'm very happy to continue these conversations with you and your team. And amazing everything you do, and it looks amazing, and I'm totally a fan. And I just want to see more. I want to see more of how does it serve the community and what kind of features you're going to implement. Exciting, very exciting.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nir. And likewise, congrats for all that you've been doing at FinTech Week. It's an incredible event and we're thrilled to be a part of it. Of course, we will always say yes to anything. So write us if you have a cool opportunity for us next time. We'd love to come
Yeah,
back.
we will. I'm counting you in for the next one. All right.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.